So, Fartlek Friday. I feel like we haven't done one of these in a while.
Yeah, maybe it's been 2 months or something. Sorry, listeners.
We haven't forgotten about you, we swear.
We've just been producing so much extra bonus content.
I like that.
Fartlek Friday, Fartlek Friday, Fartlek Friday.
But we would like to announce a little bit of schedule change in that we are establishing a bit more of a schedule.
Woo, look at us.
We're getting our shit together. So, we were originally intending to post one main feature a week or a month and one Fartlek Friday. We're gonna keep it to just one Fartlek Friday for now. Then we're doing
That's drum roll.
I love it.
Bug in my mouth at the same time.
We're doing 2
Woo!
main features a month. You know, crazy.
We are pretty crazy.
So we've got some big guests coming at you. We've got Mark Spiewak will be joining us on another episode to talk about the market mile that's coming up.
And just kind of who he is and how he got. I mean, he's made a pretty big impact, I feel like, on St. Louis running community in general, so pretty exciting.
We've got author Sarah Russell, ultra runner and author Sarah Russell.
That is our first author, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, second, because Jason's an author.
That's true.
So, second author, but
Second author.
first run with an author.
There we go. In person.
Yeah.
There.
And then, we've also got a couple other collabs down the pipeline. So get excited!
Woohoo! I'm excited.
Same. How's your training going?
Well, you know, it's summer. It's hot. It's sweaty. You know, I'm not really training for anything. Haven't signed up for a race yet. So, yeah. Not enjoying the summer, though.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm not a hot weather runner.
Yes. You have not acclimated.
Morning.
And, I know I've signed up for the Kimswick 5K this Saturday.
Yep.
But I'm just running that for fun. With friend of the podcast, Leah Koch, and also longtime listener, Virginia.
Woo!
So, hopefully we'll be bringing home some pies from that.
You better get a pie.
I trust Leah to do that for us.
Yeah, they're pretty little, though, which is slightly disappointing.
Oh, darn it.
At least the age group ones are.
Yeah. Maybe Leah will just get an overall.
Yeah. I think those were full-size pies.
Ooh. I'm gonna have to have a talk with her. If you don't bring home a full-size pie,
Yep.
I don't know. Friendship over. She'll listen to this the day before.
I mean, if you're, like, so last year, Gabe ran it. Obviously ran into him. He just went and bought a pie.
Oh, nice.
So there's always that option.
Well, you either gotta cough up or cough up.
Yeah.
Leah Koch Thomas.
Whoever you are.
So, we've got that upcoming. I've decided that I'm not gonna do the Rock and Rockwoods because I don't want to completely mess up my training plan for the Chicago Marathon.
Woohoo! Speaking of, can we give some shout-outs to Shalini?
Yes.
Wow. 100 miles.
Oh, she ran the Cascade Crest 100 this past weekend. We were tracking her like no other.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm going to pull up her time really quickly while we run.
Okay. Don't trip. Yeah, I mean, woo-wee. I can't imagine.
All right, she ran it 33 hours and 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
That's impressive. Way to go. We're very proud of you.
Yeah.
Which I know means the world to her.
Yeah. I mean, it was enthralling to watch the times change.
It was.
On the tracker. So, shout out to the Cascade Crest for having a tracker available for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Alright, well, how's your Chicago training going?
It's going. Last week was kind of, I missed a couple of runs because of the weather, actually, primarily, which was the frustrating part.
Because of the rain?
Yeah, well, not just the rain, the, thunderstorms and lightning and stuff. Because I would have ran in the rain, but...
Well, I mean, the rain on Tuesday was, like, torrential.
Yeah.
I don't think you really want to run in that.
No. Plus, I think I was, like, afraid of lightning and thunder or something. Yep. So, gotta play it safe.
Yep.
And then, so my mileage was a little lower than what I intended, and my long run was shorter than I intended, just by a couple miles, because I woke up late because my parents are in town, and they exhausted me, because those two are party animals compared to me.
I heard you had a lot of hungover runs.
Yeah. 3 out of my 4 runs last week were hungover. One of those due to the Coke, Thomas.
How did those go?
They happened. My VO2 max went down a point.
Yeah.
And I think it's in no small part due to the fact that I mean, the majority of my runs hungover.
Yeah. I mean, it's impressive. I can't run hungover anymore. I feel like I'm too old for that.
It's awful. I'm excited to try that new product, though.
Yeah.
Side note. Gretchen and I are going to try this new product. I've been getting it on my Instagram.
I gotcha.
They got me. And if we like it, you know, we might do something about it.
Yeah, but back to hungover running.
Yes.
I can't do it. Some people, they're like, oh, I just need to go for a run and, sweat it out.
It does help. If I can, if I'm not vomiting at the end of it, which I wasn't at the end of these ones.
Unless you want to go
the other way. It does actually help to run hungover in that sense.
See, I don't know. It usually makes me feel almost worse sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Especially on, so, it also kind of depends, how hungover I am, to be honest.
Yeah. On a 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah. But it's just, at that point, you're kind of just fighting with your body to stay hydrated.
Yeah. Well, that and your heart rate is typically higher.
Oh, yeah. Well, so, when I'm, particularly hungover and running, it's I'll try to wake up and drink a lot of water, but then I immediately vomit that up. And then I'll try to drink more water, and then I'll go for my run. And it's definitely a battle of staying hydrated from then on.
Yeah. It's harder to do, I think, obviously in the summer as well.
Yeah.
I think you can get away with a little more
in the winter.
When it's cool, yeah.
Yeah. But then you're fighting ice. So, for me, it becomes, hey, okay, I don't really want to run hungover on ice.
Yeah.
I don't really want to run hungover.
I don't really want to run on the ice, not hungover.
Yeah. Both of the scenarios don't seem ideal.
I guess in winter, too, you can kind of sleep in.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get over the hangover a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd be curious, what our listeners think. Is a hungover run good or bad for you?
Without looking up any research.
Yeah, no Googling.
Well, also, a lot of those studies that we read, most of them are college boys taking those studies. So
they don't get hangovers.
And if they do, they're different than the general population.
Oh yeah.
Take those with a grain of salt, but we want to hear your comments. Have you run hungover? If so, how did that go? And, did you take, liquid IV or something with it?
Yeah, I'd be curious, too, if you do anything at night, when you're drinking.
Yeah.
You get ready to go to bed, you drink, a liquid IV, take...
Maybe I should start doing that.
Take, ibuprofen or something. I don't know. People do weird things. Morning.
So now here's the thing that happened that you can really only hear in the raw audio, so I apologize for the noise. It's quick, I promise. We ran past a group of 3 men walking one dog, and I had recognized 2 of the men from earlier in our run. Keep in mind as the conversation continues, we as female runners typically are hyper aware of our surroundings and have our guard up while we run in public.
So we just got called by an old man.
Walking a dog with a group of old men.
And by old men, I mean like
Retirees.
Yeah, like our grandparents' age almost.
My grandparents are dead.
So are mine. Probably like, those men were definitely like well in their 70s.
This is a really uplifting episode.
It is!
Well, leave your comments in the comments below. Did we get catcalled, or was that just a neutral interaction? Because we saw those men earlier.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we saw the ones without the dog.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I'm like leaning into, oh, we got catcalled. Either way, I'm taken. You're taken.
Yep, I'm definitely taken.
Not interested. Oh, are we about to run by our favorite house?
Very close.
So one thing that Gretchen did this weekend, she got to meet my parents.
I did!
Shout out to Kathy.
Woo!
Charlie doesn't listen.
That's very exciting. I'm glad to have finally met them. I feel like I basically know your mom.
Honest review. No punches pulled.
I didn't say anything when we're recording.
I know. They're very nice.
They are very nice. I enjoyed my time at the History Museum.
And we saw the really cool 1904 World's Fair exhibit.
Yes, I would highly recommend it. I wonder how much longer it's there for.
I think it's going to be there for a while. Okay. They said that it took them longer to construct the exhibit than it did for the World's Fair to actually be,
Did he mean that, or was he joking?
I feel like he meant that.
Okay.
Or at least there was some grain of truth for it.
I mean, it was just because they 3D printed.
Yeah.
So just to do that alone, it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, and like to get all of that right, to design it correctly, and then to figure out where everything is.
Yeah.
So they 3D printed a scale model, and it's really cool. And we're going by our favorite house now, and we learned a lot about what was there before this house existed. We'll talk in our transatlantic accents as we run by.
Will we?
Yeah, Gretchen.
Yes, Elaine?
Gretchen.
Hello?
I watched a video on the myths surrounding the transatlantic accent. It was a real accent. People call it a fake accent. It was real. I was actually from the, like, elite Northeast. It has a non-Rhotic sound, like Southern England, which is the received pronunciation of the received British pronunciation everyone talks about.
Yeah.
So basically, the oversimplified version of events is that people from the UK and Ireland came over, and at that point in history, they pronounced the R's like we do. So they were Rhotic, is what they said. History moved forward, time moved on. Americans, as they colonized, retained the Rhotic nature of their pronunciation. UK and Ireland dropped it. Well, it's not really how it actually played out. That's super oversimplified. It has to do with Southern England, or some Southern British Isles, mostly colonizing the Northeast of the U.S., and both of those went non-Rhotic, so they dropped the R pronunciation, and then Northern England and Scotland and Ireland, they retained the Rhotic nature. They were also the ones who pretty much had populated the more of the inside of the continent instead of the, like, East Coast. Okay. Then people from New York moved to Hollywood, and they established the Hollywood elite. So that's where you get a lot of that non-Rhotic sound from the transatlantic accent.
Okay. Interesting.
But Katharine Hepburn really talked like that in real life. They actually referred to it as the Bryn Mawr accent, where she went to college in the Northeast.
Yeah.
So, fun facts for today. I'll link that YouTube video in the description. So that was really interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of YouTube videos, I did start to watch your, the one with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you, what were your thoughts on that?
I think it's very fascinating that they, granted I only watched, a few minutes because then I had to get on a call, but, basically how they laid out that, the country hosting the Olympics prior to was, in this great economic times, and then essentially the Olympics happened, and they kind of fell apart.
So we'll watch that.
Yeah.
But we'll also link that in the description below. We'll just, keep, linking stuff that we find interesting.
Did you, watch that whole video?
I haven't yet, actually, because I was like, I'll send this to Gretchen, and I'll put it on my watch list, and then I listened to a Speed Walk episode instead.
Also, I love this shirt because it's cool, but I hate this color.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Was it? Doesn't, or wait, no, that's rabbit.
This is rabbit.
Yeah. Sorry, I mean, most running companies, I don't know why they choose, all these, muted millennial colors. Alright. I've got 1.36 miles left before I guess what they're intervals or sprints or strides or whatever we want to call them.
They're a little longer than a stride.
Yeah.
I feel like a stride is typically about
30 seconds.
Yeah, 20 to 30 seconds. Yeah. I think it's an interval.
Okay. Well, it says interval.
And it's not really a sprint either.
Yeah.
It's probably slightly, right around a 5K pace.
Yeah.
Maybe a smidge slower.
Well, that pacing was my choice.
Okay.
Because it was just 4-minute intervals, and I was like, what? What's 4-minute intervals? Is that 30 seconds?
Right.
Or 4 minutes of intervals plus rest. So.
Yeah, that is weird.
And just was super vague about it, so I just chose something that was simple and measurable. And for anyone who might have listened to a previous episode, I think I said I was doing a...
Oh, yes. Have we talked about that?
I think I vaguely mentioned that I was doing a Runner's World, training plan.
Well, in a way, you're following the plan.
Yeah. But I'm actually doing a women's running magazine training plan, so...
Hey, I think it's awesome you're just even doing any plan.
Yeah. This is it's not new for me to try to do a plan, but
Stick with it?
Yeah, it is new for me to stick with it and actually not sign up for races that are going to completely derail my training. Because I have done that time and time again.
You don't say.
I mean, Shalini's right. I don't have to get all of these goals done in, a year. I can spread them out.
I feel like everyone that has talked about that particular episode always is I love that point.
Yeah.
I feel like we all try to, cram everything in. I mean, even, me, I'm I could still do a full marathon, but I'm why?
What is it adding to my, running? Is it gonna actually even, improve my running overall?
Probably not. It's probably gonna just stress me out.
Yeah. Alright, I have a little over a mile left with my regular. How much do you have left?
2.5. Okay. I'm wondering if we turn around somewhere here.
Yeah.
We're probably a little over
a mile
from
Yeah.
Denny and Judy.
Denny and Judy.
Just start calling it DJ. Meet at the DJ.
So wait, are you Denny or am I Denny?
I don't know. Do you want to be Denny or do you want to be Judy?
I don't know.
I don't know these people, so I don't.
Well,
like if
do
Denny...
I look like I eat breakfast 24/7? Yes. I don't have anything quippy about Judy.
I don't either. I don't really know them.
Well, I just went with Denny's.
Yeah, I got it.
Judy's.
Judy. I like to think it was Matt's aunt.
That's literally all I can think of is people from that generation.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah. I actually really like the name Judy. So Dennis and Judith is the visitor center of Forest Park. We affectionately call it Denny and Judy's.
And now DJ.
Yeah. We'll meet up at the DJ at FP.
To see how many abbreviations we can get.
Did you like how I should have abbreviated Tower Grove to TGP.
Yeah.
For the listeners, last night I texted Gretchen, do we want to meet at CCL or FP? CCL being Creve Coeur Lake.
Then you also are like, or Tower Grove Park, is that closer?
Yeah.
Could have.
TGP. A missed opportunity if there ever.
Also, me and Nats today.
Yeah. You're the only one getting them.
What happens is they like get stuck under my hat.
Your hat, really?
So then I gotta be like,
for the listener, Gretchen is wiping off a collection of bugs underneath gnats underneath the bill of her hat.
See, understands this.
The dangers of wearing a hat instead of sunglasses.
At this point, though, I can't go back.
Yeah, it's your signature look.
It is. People wouldn't know me anymore.
It's like a sitcom. You're like, it's part of your signature look.
Turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my look now.
So, I do want to draw a parallel. So, if you recall in the history episode about Forest Park, we talked a lot about having to bury the river.
Yes.
The smell. And that was mostly for the World's Fair, but attendees of the World's Fair were also typically going or in town for the Olympics, and the Olympics took place pretty close to Forest Park. Really, only one event was in the Forest Park, and that was some of the swimming. And that reminded me of what's going on in Paris right now with the Seine River not being ready and not being cleaned. And we learned at the museum the other day that the water in St. Louis was not running clear until just a few weeks or a few days before the World's Fair opened.
Yeah, people would turn their faucets on and the water would be brown.
And then just one day it was clear. And that was 100% because they wanted to make it clear for the Olympics, or for the World's Fair and the Olympics.
Yeah, they went through all this. I can't remember the guy's name, but he messed with all these different processes. And the only reason they wanted the water clear, not to, improve the lives of the residents, but
no, why would we?
Just because all these guests were coming in from out of town. It's crazy. And now I feel like St. Louis, they boast about their water being so clear and so good.
Maybe the same will happen in France, in Paris, in Paris.
Ooh la la. Speaking of River de Paris, we will run past
the opening.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for this episode of Fartlek Friday.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Still half asleep, so I think it's good.
Yeah. Well, listeners, have a great weekend.
Yeah, should be a good time.
In this episode, I talked about Dr. Jeff Lindsay's Hollywood's fake Mid-Atlantic myth debunked video. I do highly recommend watching that. The man who developed the process to clean the water in St. Louis for the 1904 World's Fair, his name was John Wixford. By all accounts, he was a pretty eccentric chemist who lived his entire life without running water. He developed the Wixford process, which cleaned the water using an unprecedented quantities of milk of lime to swiftly rid the river water of sediment. Who knew you could milk a lime? That's it for this episode of Fartlek Friday on Happy Pace. Like this episode and channel if you found your happy pace while listening. Subscribe to us on Spotify, YouTube, and now Apple Podcasts. You can find us on social media at happy_pace_podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Email us happypace@houseofmachka.com if you have any questions, comments, and ideas for guests. This is a House of Machka production. Our music is written, performed, and recorded by Grant Underhill, Mike Plasmeier, and Jake Laconte. Our graphic designer is Rachel Slingluff. Our marketing manager is Gretchen Brune. This episode was recorded and edited by Elaine Sims. This episode was recorded in front of a live Tower Grove audience.
So that's how we got to 26.2 miles. We can thank Queen Alexandra. Morning! Wait, is that Casey? We did a shout out already this morning! We see you! Hey. Hi, Bonnie. Morning. Hi, Dog. Morning. Hi. Morning. 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 Hey, Drew. I like it. That's Drew. Morning. Morning. Oh, hey, Kim. It's great. I knew someone that I ran past. Morning. 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 Good job. I'm sorry. Morning. 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 Also really need to go to the bathroom. Morning. 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 And morning. Morning. It is ready. Morning.
Morning. It's time to get back up and do it
Morning.
again.
Hey, guys.
Guys,
Hey, Luke.
it's past some of the Big River racing team.
That's perfect.
That was perfect.
Morning. But
Morning.
morning.
Morning. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Rita. Do you want to be
Morning.
on the podcast? We're recording right now.
Elaine is recruiting her next podcast guest.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I'm smiling.
Hi, Haley.
Haley,
Yay!
we're on right
Yeah.
now. We're recording. Say
Hi.
hi. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning. Morning. Morning.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Lauren.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Sorry.
Morning. Morning.
I think.
Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Hey! How are you?
Hey, hey. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.